up to the morning sun, just like a shotgun, or to see the dawn light, or to be a dove mid-flight. I find myself alive again, just like an old friend. I must be doing it right to survive another night. Headed down to the waterline, baby, I'm feeling fine. I just gotta hold on tight. I got you in my side, 'cause every little thing dies. Funny how time flies. Everything is a surprise, 'cause every little thing dies. Every little thing dies. After every sunrise, we all meet our own demise, 'cause every little thing dies. I went to see a wise man. He had a suntan. Oh, we had some red wine. We got to feeling fine. I wonder when I'll be free, just like a Bodhi tree. I must be doing okay, just gotta kneel and pray. He said, don't worry, so baby, just let it go. You just gotta hold on tight. It's all gonna be alright, 'cause every little thing dies. Funny how time flies. Everything is a surprise, 'cause every little thing dies. Every little thing dies. After every sunrise, we all meet our own demise, 'cause every little thing dies. Once I was a small child, innocent and idle, wild. Oh, my little blue, blue eyes. Oh, the blue endless skies. I find myself a child still, just like a vaudeville. I must have learned something to keep on blossoming. Headed down to the seashore, baby, I love you more than all the years lost, more than everything they cost. 'Cause every little thing dies. Funny how time flies. Everything is a surprise, 'cause every little thing dies. Every little thing dies. After every sunrise, we all meet our own demise, 'cause every little thing dies. Every little thing dies. No need for long goodbyes, no need for lonely cries, 'cause every little thing dies. Every little thing dies. Everything you memorize, living is the only prize, 'cause every little thing dies. Living is the only prize, 'cause every little thing dies. Living is the only prize, 'cause every little thing dies.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 3. We're kicking it off with our wisdom watch party featuring Brent Pella. Give me one word in the chat to tell us how you're enjoying this experience so far. And we have someone tuning in from New Zealand and Ontario, Canada. Loving it, amazing, awesome, enlightening, learning. Great, insightful, inspired, exhilarating, lifting, phenomenal. Oh my gosh, you guys. Deep connection, knowledgeable. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, we'd love to hear it. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Lisa. I'm your host for these Wisdom Watch Parties, and I'll also be co-hosting with the wonderful Deborah Silverman during our live breakthrough sessions at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Pacific. Remember to join us live or on the replays so you can get our bonus code word for each live breakthrough session. I hope you'll join us, and if you can't join us, all the replays will be available on Come Study You after the day's events have finished. We're thrilled to have you join us for our I Don't Believe in Astrology events featuring Deborah Silverman and our incredible guests. Each event in this series is curated to support you in this journey of discovering the transformative language of astrology paired with psychology, which is Deborah's specialty. Keep showing up to each event with an open mind and an open heart, and you're sure to leave this experience different than you started. Now, let's get ready to enjoy this Wisdom Watch Party featuring Brent Pella.
So, welcome to I Don't Believe in Astrology. I don't know, do you believe in astrology, Brent?
I do. I do. I have a belief and respect for it and very, very little understanding of
Well,
it.
that's exactly the audience I was looking for.
Cool,
So
you
I
got
don't
me.
believe in astrology. Now that the time is coming, the book is coming out April 8th. I've been like, was that the right title? Because people that do believe in it don't buy it, and the people that don't believe in it don't buy it. Well, that was kind of silly. I just figured that out.
I think the title is divinely aligned. It definitely got me.
Okay, good. That's so good to hear. So if you would, we are doing a guest. This is a bonus for people who are purchasing this whole program where I'm turning them on to the stars. I feel like don't tell anyone because I know you're funny, like a drug dealer. Like I give them enough that they want more.
Uh-huh. You're a readings dealer.
I'm a readings dealer.
You give people a hit of their purpose and you get them hooked.
Yeah, then they're so interested, which I'm about to do with you. So can you just tell the audience, just briefly, quickly, in your words, who is Brent as far as the outer world?
Sure. I mean, who is Brent at the end of the day, but just another
On
piece
the
of
outer plane.
stardust. On the three-dimensional realm, Brent manifests as a comedian. I'm a stand-up comedian. I do a lot of comedy videos online. I'm a cast member on the show Wild and Out, and also a filmmaker and son, brother, friend, scared of bees, allergic to shellfish, and really enjoy a nice steak.
Wow. I'm not scared of bees and I don't eat steak. See, that's what's so interesting. So we just separated ourselves. Why are you scared of bees?
I had a bad experience when I was young. When I was 7, I went on a family reunion to Northern California to the Redwoods, and we were hopping around in bushes, me and my cousins. And one of the bushes we hopped in was not a bush; it was a hive. And they came up and swung us, stung us everywhere. We ran out screaming. Ever since then, I've had a very real respect for bees, but I just kind of try to leave them alone.
I get it. That makes so much sense. See, that's just a classical. This is what my new book is about. The human dimension, when it has a memory or some impactful experience, unlike the liver and the kidneys and the bladder who all clean shit out, the
Yep.
mind stores it, puts it in a little drawer and goes, let's remember this. Bees aren't very friendly and I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I got for sure.
Isn't that funny? Whereas the kidney or the liver or the bladder go, oh no, you have to go.
Hmm.
But
And it
there's
detoxes you.
exactly. And so
Yeah.
this is part of my new book is the first part of the book is there's this human design faults that stay in the system that we can't seem to understand. And we make ourselves feel self-conscious because we get, insecure, or we have anxiety but really we're kind of a strange creature. Have you noticed?
I have noticed, and the strangeness of the human creature is something I love to recreate in a lot of the material that I output to the world so that we can all just kind of laugh at the madness of this existence together, you know?
Have you always had a little jokester in your psyche? Is that been
I think
something?
so. Yeah, I've always had that jester archetype as the strongest part of who I am, I think, ever since I was a little kid, tying my grandfather's shoes together under the dining room table and then him knowing, of course, so there was no harm or physical injury. But yeah, I was always the clown of the family for sure.
So let me just share, if you will, your chart, just because
Mhm.
our audience is astrological. So we're just going to put this over here and we're going to extend this. So your sun is in Pisces and your moon is in Scorpio, which means you're double water. And believe it or not, want to hear something cool, Brent? Today,
Yeah.
in the sky today, as we sit here, the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Scorpio. It happens 2 days a year. So you were
Ooh,
born under that influence and it's occurring as we sit here.
wow.
I think that's a little magic.
That is a little magic. Does that mean I should buy a lottery ticket? What should I do?
No, that meant that you should have an interview with me today.
Okay, great, great, great. That's also a great th thing to do.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of like winning the lottery. And then the other part is was the moon is right here on top of the chart. This is the position of fame. So when there's
mhm,
planets, because the mother is in the middle of the room giving birth, and obviously it was early in the morning because the sun was way below the horizon. Here's the sun. It was 3:30 in the morning. It doesn't get till 6 o'clock in the morning to the horizon. And then the moon up, on the other hand, was standing on the top. Here's your mom, right above her head was the moon, which just it's funny to say this. The moon is a funny planet. I mean, it's humorous. This is the indication of your career, the moon
yeah.
being, but it's also dark. Like you have a dark humor. Is that true or is that true?
From time to time, for sure. From time to
Like you
time.
go deep, like you go deep.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So it's not like superficial humor because your sun's in Pisces, your moon's in Scorpio. And then my favorite part is you have all these planets in Capricorn. Are you a bit of a workaholic?
I think so. I am. Yeah. A lot of my stuff, a lot of my work kind of dives deep into the human experience and offers a different perspective toward some of the deeper conflicts and challenges and
Like, for
absurdity
example,
that humans face. Um, I do these characters that are blue aliens where I get all done up in blue makeup and prosthetics, and we go out into the world and kind of highlight some of the absurdities of the human experience, whether it's politics or health, fitness, wellness.
I loved
Um,
it. Who came up
yeah,
with the blue, funny looking people? How'd that
yeah, I
happen?
did. Yeah, yeah.
See, that's an indication. This is what's interesting about your chart. Your
Hmm.
chart is actually a workaholic and very steeply concerned about the human condition. But it's funny that it comes, you've got Mars and Venus and Aquarius. You have this exotic, off the beat path observer who notices the strangest things, but then you bring them back down to us in a
Hmm.
practical language. So because you have two planets in Aquarius, which means you're the futurist, it's somebody that is not content with this reality. They're kind of exotic or eccentric even. But then the rest of your chart is this like deep, hardworking desire to make a difference here.
I definitely have that. I mean, that's what drives the workaholic essence, you know. I kind of I found a real purpose to drive a lot of my work and to drive a lot of what I do.
I
And
bet it happened when you were young. This the being Capricorn rising, you were old when you were young. So I'm curious, was there some success that showed up at a young age where your humor, or your performer, or your entertainer became obvious?
I had the role of Tin Man in the third grade play of The Wizard of Oz, and I will say I crushed it. I nailed every move. I nailed the toot toot at the end. That was definitely one of the performance highlights of my early years.
Did
But
you
other,
get the bug? Is that when you fell in love with acting?
No, I fell in love with basketball. I was a sports guy all through high school. I played through college, and then I found live performance again post college after I graduated.
But how? What was the door?
In college, I transferred from Santa Cruz to Santa Barbara, and there was a big feature film shoot happening just outside of campus that me and my friend actually stumbled upon late one night on a weekend. And we walked onto the set, and the director was there and put us in the scene that they were shooting. It was like a party scene, and he tapped me to be the guy that pretended to puke in the corner, and the lead actor kicked me out of the party. And after that day, the next Monday of the following week, I transferred into the film and TV program and started working with student film projects and getting more acquainted with cameras and sets
That
and
was
things
my
like that.
intuition that something hooked you, something
Yeah,
the bug destiny came to find you.
that was the bug for sure.
You have a very strong chart of destiny. Like you have Saturn sitting at the horizon, right when you were born, if the moon was above your mom's head, Saturn was right on the horizon. I'm going to show you because this is such a strong astrological indicator that rarely do we see this. So here's Saturn. It looks like this funny little upside down question mark. And this is
Hmm.
the rising sign. So remember, your mom is here. They take a picture of the sky. The sun was below the horizon. The moon was way up on top of her head. And at the horizon, at the moment of your birth, was the planet Saturn. Very unusual. It's in Capricorn. It's natural placement in the house of magic. So this means that the destiny that you came in with this life, which is very strong to have Saturn sitting there. It's like an indicator as an astrologer, I would know the workaholic is here because he's got a mission and the mission found you. And there's a lot of you listening. We keep talking about these in these guest interviews that because every one of them are so interesting characters. Destiny came to find Brent. He couldn't get away from this job. He was described as a young person. He somehow or other life came in, put him into this position, put him in college. Next thing he knew, he fell in love. And he's been doing it like a workaholic ever since, right?
Totally, totally. Yep.
And that's not like most people. Most people that come to an astrologer go, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, or I don't know what my calling is, or can you help me? And I can guarantee you it's in your chart announcement, but not every soul comes in with this like mission driven Brent. And
Sure.
on the upside of that, you'll accomplish things, but the bad side of that is you can forget to stop.
Mm.
Do you know how to pause?
Working on it. Trying to have more practices in daily life to give myself a break, give my brain and soul a break, because breaks fuel the creativity, you know,
Is
taking
it
those.
unnatural for you to stop?
Um, I find a way to pause when I can, definitely, because I had a lot of trouble with that over the past few years. But in the most recent past year or 2 years, even, I've really consciously tried to integrate moments of just experiencing life without huge work responsibilities or massive goals taking up the priority. And I've tried to shift my priorities every couple months, even for a day or two, into just experiencing life, because that then fuels how I can talk about life and present a new lens toward life in what I do.
Because your sun's in water and your moon's in water, and when you think about water, it's a very fluid, it's distinct from your earthly Capricorn, business oriented, goal oriented. This major part of your character is the flow state,
Hmm.
which includes meditation or spacing out or being able to, just float, not have a goal to your point, not have an agenda. There's so many people, there's some people in this room who are like you and I have this goal orientation, timelines. We're always on time. And then there's people in this room who are never on time and they feel like they're missing their life or that somehow they should be doing more. And we're thinking we should be doing less. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting to me to see the distinction.
Totally. Yeah, I catch myself. I catch myself. I do have moments of being overwhelmed with way too many things on the to-do list and not enough time. And the to-do list is both business and personal. There are things I want to do in my personal life that I have trouble carving out the time for. So it's been a recent initiative to try and give myself more moments of break, life experience, reflection, while weaving those moments through the hardworking left brain, got to get this stuff done.
I have the funniest question.
Hmm.
Two questions. Do you know who you work for and do you know why you're so motivated to help the humans?
Who I work for? Um,
Good question,
I
Deb.
mean, in the reality we occupy, I work for myself. In the greater scheme of everything, I would say I work for the field experiencing itself, and I do everything I can to allow that field to have a taste that only I can deliver. Um, and what was the other question?
And what motivates you? What did I say? The
What
first one,
motivates me? Yeah.
to help the human condition. What is it that's driving you?
I think the human condition lacks joy and curiosity. It has it, but not as much as I personally feel it should have. So everything I do
Opinion
is
of a Scorpio Capricorn. Okay, let me tell you what I think. I got the right answer here. Joy is the answer. And isn't it interesting that the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, that Tutu, that wonderful man, all of the humor that is put in place by the masters, like the Buddha, there's humor laced in the existence of the ones who get outside of the ego into the field. And all of a
Totally.
sudden it turns into a joke. And I have this feeling this was true of you, that there's a secret little imp in you. Do you know him?
The imp? I definitely, I probably do have some imp in me, but I've never thought of it like that before.
Well, that's the guy that put his grandpa's shoes, tied him together.
Yeah, for sure. Well, then that imp is definitely in me, and maybe is most visible at 3 a.m. at a music festival. But he's definitely inside
See,
me.
this is why we study astrology, because if I can put words to your character, that
Yeah,
once you realize that, yes, I work for the field, your spiritual ambition. I wanted to see if I could pull it out of you. You have
totally.
such drive. You're so committed, which is why it's so beautiful to see your success. And thank you so much for letting me include myself in being able to bless the quality of your energy, because you're so willing to stand up and be funny. I mean, that's
Thank
not
you.
an easy thing. Some people can't do it. I mean, I tried stand-up comedy and I couldn't do it.
Well, you weave your own sense of comedy through this work, because comedy is it's a form of light work, I've been told, and what you do is weave through people's purpose and mission with your version of that.
And
So
it's
you're
all
still doing
from the
it.
stars.
Yeah.
I want to say, if I have this feeling intuitive, that you have some experience on stage or in public where your actor has really given you permission to take off the limits. Like, where have you shown up with real humor or really broken the mold around, except, like, give us a scene, whether you were in your blue skinned face or whether you were on stage. Can you remember capturing the audience and taking us for a ride?
Yeah. You know, I I perform everywhere. I do live stand-up comedy at comedy clubs, colleges, live events. But in recent years, I've been doing more at music festivals, and that's been really fun and a bit more expansive than at other venues, because I can get into some really weird territory that all the creatures at music festivals maybe align with or can relate to a bit more than folks at a comedy club in Oklahoma City, which I also love. Super duper fun. Oklahoma City, I'm coming back this fall. Would love to see you. But there are, there's a certain magic that happens in the live kind of festival, or even performing live at a place like Burning Man, in that type of space,
Yeah,
because
see, that's,
everybody
I feel
is already
that's,
so
yes.
authentic and open. Yeah.
I see you as the entrance of this. My book is about the new human. Like, we got stuck. We kind of got stuck in a bottleneck with the human condition, not knowing how to be kind or open our mind or be able to let our emotional body be free. Somewhere we got this programming, because I'm older, of what we were expected. And you are breaking, you're like shattering those limits, and you're giving us permission, even the conversation of ETs. And I'm interested to hear what you think about ETs, or how that even became a motif in your work.
Yeah, I've always been into alien things, the subject matter, ever since I was a kid. I loved just looking up at the stars and wondering if there was something out there looking back at me. Um, and I think the possibilities for what these sightings and moments and UAPs and everything wrapped under the whole disclosure umbrella, there's so many layers, there's so many moving pieces, there's so many possibilities. It's not like it's just one race
No,
that,
yeah,
there's
Richard, yeah, Stephen Greer just
many.
recently
Yeah.
said, 69. Are you a Richard Gere, or sorry, I always do that, Stephen Greer follower? Do
I'm
you
a
know?
fan of both. Stephen Greer and Richard Gere makes
That
big
they're both
movies.
magic. But the point is, Stephen has become a friend, and in no uncertain terms. I mean, there's no mystery anymore. I can say this out loud. Astrology was brought to us by ETs, like the
Sure.
intelligence of the stars, being able to do an architecture of the human psyche, for me to look at your chart and go, oh, look, there's the moon, which, by the way, let's return to that. The humor of the moon is, if our human emotional body gets shut down, we're scared, we're sad, we don't feel, then you come in, and for some reason, through humor, it's so interesting, the moon tickles us into feeling. And you use such a powerful mechanism. I don't know if you're aware, the moon in Scorpio that you have is next to Pluto on the top of the chart. So if humor is the medium to let the new human be brought forward, because we turn on our observer and look at ourselves and go, are you kidding? Like, I always think about, we lie in a bed I think about this a lot. For like 8 hours, have no memory of what we do. We take our clothes off, turn off the lights, and just trust that it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy, but no
Yeah.
one thinks about it. Or the fact that everyone agrees that we're going to have eggs for breakfast. I always wonder who made that up.
Yeah.
And we all think that's the right thing to do.
Maybe the aliens brought us eggs too. We don't know.
It's probably true. And
We
then
don't
I
know.
had this really good friend called Bob Whipple. He was part of a mental hospital that I worked in when I lived in LA. He was one of my patients' clients' friends. And I took him out for breakfast. I shouldn't have done it. I kind of got outside the boundaries of what I should have done, but I did it. And we're having breakfast. He puts orange juice on his cereal. And I go, "What are you doing, Bob?" And he goes, "It all ends up in the same place anyway." But see how and he did that all the time to me. He was always challenging the status quo. It was very Aquarian to let us start to consider what is mental health? What is reality? How do we accept this place? And I see you as a comedian tickling us into a brighter awakening. Like why is it when we finish laughing, we feel so high?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the goal of a lot of what I do. I'm hoping to spark some sort of curiosity in somebody, whether it's about aliens or psychedelics or just a new way of looking at what's become the matrix right in front of them, and challenge that status quo because life's more fun when you challenge it and when you challenge your own ideas and your own opinions that maybe have been conditioned into you over time. It allows for growth and expansion
It's
mentally, spiritually. So yeah, that's a driving force behind a lot of my stuff.
So if you guys have lost your sense of humor, this is really danger. I just want to say that it's dangerous when the humor system, I've had people, so many people my age say, "I've stopped having fun." Like, what happened? When we
Yeah.
were kids, everything was fun. So what was the distinction between being a kid and a grown-up except getting programmed and accepting it? And it's so interesting because your chart is kind of old. Like you are a
Yeah.
serious character, but then humor is wrapped up in seriously funny,
Hmm.
provoking us to think about things that aren't normal in the traditional sense. And certainly ETs and psychedelics. Isn't it great that now in this generation it's acceptable? You can imagine it wasn't like this before.
Yeah, no, it's great. I see a whole new level of curiosity building in people from different backgrounds, different life paths. Yeah, I also celebrated my birthday just a couple of days ago, and I'm curious if you see anything on my chart in regards to like a future outlook or just in a general sense or a specific
I
sense or
have
anything like
definitely
that.
something exciting to share with you.
Cool.
So in our system, there's something called the progressed moon. This is your name. And in our school, we put the progressed moon right next to the name in parentheses. So that's
Hmm.
26 degrees. At 29 degrees, which is 1 degree a month, in 3 months, it'll be at 29, it changes signs. So you're just about to have a sign, a radical, when the progressed moon changes signs, it's an invitation. You're going to love this for creativity. It's going into Pisces. So here we are. It's your birthday month, March, April, May, June. Mark it down. You can write it down in June, and you can probably feel it already. Something's calling you in the name of creativity. You've spent the last 2.5 years marketing and learning how to use your communication devices and really using the internet and being really including lots of people. All of a sudden, you're going to feel like, I don't want to be around all those people. I want to go create. I want to be inside my space where I can let myself be the receiver of letting energy come forward. So I'd like to give you the gift in this session, knowing your progressed moon is changing, that don't misinterpret this transition that wants to get a little quieter. Can you feel it? It should have just started in the last month.
Sure. Yeah. This has been a big year for that so far. Yeah.
Well, it just started. So you mark my words, starting in the next 3 months and for 2.5 years, there's a creative request of you to meditate more, to be internal more, to let the ambition of all that busyness continue, but not at the expense of your sensitivity. You're going to need quiet time.
Cool.
Write that down in your little black book.
Cool. I will. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is the gift of, and we're almost done here. We have 5 minutes. This is the gift of doing these sessions, you guys. I get to watch someone that didn't know about astrology awaken, and then you're going to tell me in 3 months it's true. We get to realize that humor, here's the message of today. It's real. That's why the Dalai Lama laughs all the time. So did the
Hmm.
Mother Teresa. She had a great sense of humor. And I think Jesus did. I didn't meet him, but I have the strongest feeling that he's funny. I mean,
I
he
bet
could.
that's why he turned water into wine. You know, he's trying to trick
Why was
somebody.
he drinking all the time? It's my point.
Yeah.
Yes. So and Buddha, look at his tummy. I mean, he was doing a lot of chocolate. We don't know it was
Mhm.
chocolate, but he definitely came to the realization that all attachment was suffering. And if we could just laugh,
Totally.
it's my go-to when I'm really upset. I'm so thankful. I thank God every day and Goddess. Thank you for having the sense of humor put into my system because I know it's not appropriate sometimes, but I laugh a lot.
Good. That means you're healthy.
It came that way. And when my kid finished kindergarten, this is a crazy story. I went to the teacher and I said, how, because he's so serious, this kid, and he's now in his 30s. And I said to the teacher, how is he doing? And she said, you know what? If my kid laughed like your kid, I wouldn't worry for the rest of his life. He has his sense of humor. He gets so out of control when he laughs. And it's a clue. Serious, yes. Very, very willing to help the masses. He's a very servant being. At the same time, if I can tickle him, I know where this tickle bone is.
That's good. It's the best medicine. It's the best natural medicine you could ever give to somebody else or to yourself, you know. And I really appreciate this time and especially this final message. You know, the past couple of years have led to a point now where in this current moment, I do feel a big upswing in creativity, bigger projects, bigger purpose, bigger mission, and the volume is getting turned up on everything that I'm doing starting now. So with June and
You're on
2.5
schedule.
years
You
beyond.
guys look up Brent. Go
Yeah.
and find him, Brent Pella, Pella. You're going to see all the links. And thank you for inviting your audience to learn that the purpose of our lives are written in the stars. I know it sounds contrived, but it's so true. You can see he was born with Saturn. He's good. Fame will find you. You're slow but sure. You were old when you're young. And as you get younger, or as you get older, you'll get younger because of your humor. And that is the answer to every question, you guys. If you're not laughing, you need some laughing gas. I don't know what's the right answer. You need to go watch
Or you need
Brent.
to follow me on Instagram. Both will work.
There you go. That was my
Of
point. So we're
course.
sharing audiences. Thank you to all of your audience. I don't believe in astrology is the book, and because you're here, it's obvious you got included in these interviews, and it's been such a pleasure for me to touch people's energy and that are successful in the outer world, and yet you named it on the inner, in the name of the field, in the name of spirit. You are so devoted, and thank you, thank you. It
Totally.
echoes exactly what I'm doing.
Thank you, Deborah. I'm very excited for your book, and I sincerely appreciate your time and energy, and I hope we get to cross paths in person at some point. Otherwise, I'll see you in the
Where do
field.
you live? Where do you live?
I'm in Austin, Texas, but back and forth to Los Angeles
Hey,
quite a bit.
well, guess what? I'm going to be in Austin and I'm going to tell you the dates when we finish this. Hold on a minute.
Yes.
Stay right there. That's so exciting. Okay. Aloha.
That was so fun. What did you all think of this conversation? I was smiling the whole time. Let me hear it, guys. Love his motivation. Yes. Loved it. Cheers for comedy. Beautiful. What a light. Love. Joyful. Fun and inspiring. Yes, fun. Definitely. Yeah, makes me want to laugh more. Exactly. Laughter really is healing. When was the last time you got a really good belly laugh in or laughed until you cried? Life is serious, but it's not that serious. As Deborah reminds us, none of us are getting out of here alive, right? How can you create more laughter and joy in your life? And while Deborah is called an OG of astrology, we may as well call her a part-time comedian. She infuses humor into everything she does, and that is part of the mastery of how she teaches both in class and in her content. Deborah isn't just wise, she's real, and she's funny. You'll hear that tone of wit, humor, and realness inside the pages of Deborah's new book, I Don't Believe in Astrology. Now is the time to grab your copy. If you've upgraded to our VIP experience for this event series, not only will you get some special bonuses, you've also already secured your pre-ordered copy of the book. And if you haven't done so yet, you can head over to IDBIAlive.com to upgrade your experience now. And you can also bookmark that page for ease in tuning into our future I Don't Believe in Astrology events. And if you're interested in buying multiple copies of the book, there are some major bonuses when you buy 5 or 10 copies, and you can check out the details at idbiabook.com. All right, now let's play some music for our break session before our next event at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is a live main breakthrough session with Colette Baron-Reed and Mark Lindemann. Enjoy, everyone. We'll see you back soon.